Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Oriental Mark Polo. This is Pedro. Today, let's talk about Chinese calligraphy art. Every country and nation has its own art of writing. There are several decorative scripts for the Latin alphabet. Some are more ornate than others. Chinese writing also has a long tradition of various artistic writing styles that express the beauty of the characters. The art of Chinese calligraphy is an Oriental art that embodies the spirit of Chinese culture. Looking around the world, there are few civilizations that have such a deep affection and passion for calligraphy as China. With this video, I would like to introduce to you the part of Chinese calligraphy. They are saying China. Chinese calligraphy is also known as poetry without sentences, music without sound, dancing without people, and painting without patterns. Now, let's start with a few well-known works of Chinese calligraphy. This is a famous masterpiece, so-called Han Shi Tian, in English, Poem of Cold Food, written by Su Shi in the year of 1082 Anno Domini. So, quite beautiful, huh? And this is another remarkable masterpiece, so-called 洛神赋, in English, Ode to Goddess Luo Shen, written by Zhao Mengfu in the year of 1300 Anno Domini. And this is also a prominent masterpiece so-called Lin Fei Jing. It's so beautiful, huh? So in English, Classic of Spiritual Flight, written by Zhong Shaojing in the year of 738 Anno Domini. So you can see they are so beautiful and amazing and charmful. I love them so much. Now let's talk about the history of calligraphic art. Chinese characters, which began as pictorial notations, have evolved over thousands of years into the character we see today. So, the history of Chinese characters can be traced back to the origin of the oracle bone inscriptions in Chinese Jiaguwen around 1300 before Christ during the Shang dynasty. So you can see it was a pictographic typeface depicting objects from the real world. These signs and characters were carved on tortoise shells and ox shoulder bones and used for ritualistic and clairvoyant purpose, so-called 占卜 in Chinese. The bronze inscriptions in Chinese Jingwen and the stone inscriptions in Chinese Shikewen of Zhou dynasty gradually developed from this script. This form of writing became more abstract and thus moved further away from their pictographic origin. During the Qing dynasty, the regionally very different script were standardized at the behest of Emperor Qin Shi Huang. He was the first political figure to complete unification of China and the first Chinese monarch to be called the emperor. This is when the seal script in Chinese Zhuanshu was developed. So you can see this is the seal script calligraphy masterpiece of Qin Shi Huang period, so-called 会稽石刻. In English, 会稽 carved stone, which was written by Li Si, the prime minister at that time. The seal script is very dignified and elegant. However, it is very time-consuming and still complicated to write, especially during a military operation. Time was tight. This resulted in the emergence of clerical script in Chinese Li Shu in the Han dynasty. Now we can see it is an eminent clerical script masterpiece, Cao Quanbei, which was written in the year of 185 Anno Domini. They further simplified the form of the character based on the seal script. The clerical script made the creation of a functioning civil service possible in the first place. However, the development of the typeface was not yet complete. Later, the clerical script gradually developed into the regular script in Chinese Kaishu. Kai in Kaishu means standardized in Chinese. Since then, this script has been considered the reference standard for the handwriting of Chinese characters. Even today, most of the Chinese people still use the regular script. To be honest, it is beautiful and orderly. So this is an acclaimed regular script masterpiece, so-called 九成宫李全明. In English, inscription about the sweet spring water of the Jiuchengong Palace, written by Ouyang Shen in the year of 632 Anno Domini. Thereafter, calligraphy developed from the Eastern Jing dynasty to the Tang dynasty, with increasing writing speed from the regular script to the semi-cursive script in Chinese 行书 and cursive script in Chinese 草书. In the Tang Dynasty, the art of Chinese calligraphy reached its peak. A large number of calligraphers emerged in that era, and they made great contributions to the development of Chinese calligraphy art. Calligraphy is art of time. Calligraphy is the art of rhythm, just like music. As mentioned above, calligraphy has different styles of writing. So in my opinion, the main variable in the evolution of characters formed from regular script to semi-cursive script to cursive script is the writing speed. In this picture, you can see from left to right, they are actually the same Chinese characters, but they look different, since they are written in regular script, semi-cursive script, and cursive script, respectively. The main difference across them are the speed of writing and whether the strokes are continuous or not. It's like in music, where singing or playing an instrument at different speeds can express completely different emotions. So, a good example of this is Yan Zhenqing's masterpiece, 祭侄文稿. In English, Scripture in memory of my nephew who died on battlefield. This work is considered as the second best work written in the semi-cursive script. When Yan Zhenqing wrote this manuscript, he was filled with anger and sadness shortly after obtaining a message that his nephew had just died fighting at the front. In this work, we can clearly see the changes in Yan Zhenqing's state of mind and the fluctuations in his emotions throughout the text. At the beginning, the text starts on the right-hand side. Yan Zhenqing's handwriting is relatively orderly and emotionally restrained. We can sense that he was desperately trying to control the emotions. Towards the middle, his handwriting becomes more and more uncontrolled and expressive, and he tends to gradually become more and more abstract. In addition, the text is heavily proofread, indicating that he was so upset and made many typographical errors. Toward the end of text is on the left side. The characters seem chaotic, nebulous, as if the characters were flying. His handwriting is so illegible that it even resembles cursive script. Throughout the work, his strong lines and harsh brush strokes reflect his grief and sorrow. This allows us to feel the seriousness of his inner emotional world and the sadness associated with it. Now let's talk about my favorite Chinese calligraphy masterpiece, Preface to the poems collected from the Orchid Pavilion, in Chinese 兰亭集序. Preface to the poetry collected from the Orchid Pavilion is the most famous work by Wang Xizhi. In China, Wang has a big title, so-called 书圣, the best grandmaster of calligraphy. And he is, of course, the most famous calligrapher in China of all time. And this work is an improvised manuscript by him that stands out for its authentic and light-hearted mood. Orchid Pavilion in Chinese 兰亭 is a place located in the south of my hometown Shaoxing. You can see it on the map, which locates in the southeast of China. And the background of this work is a sunny spring day when Wang Xizhi took his family and friends on a trip and stopped by the Orchid Pavilion. This type of spring outing is called the Festival of Light Clarity and is also referred to as 休息 in classical Chinese. It is an ancient custom that dates back to the Zhou dynasty, approximately 1000 before Christ to 250 before Christ, when people would take spring excursions on the third day of the third lunar month. On this day, friends and family gathered and hiked into the mountains and to the creeks. There, they cleaned themselves with the cool river water and thus drove away the evil spirits and misfortune. Amid the green hills and river water, Wang Xizhi and his friends and relatives drank wine and wrote poetry. During the spring tour, they wrote many beautiful poems known as Orchid Pavilion Poetry Collection or 兰亭 Poetry Collection. And Wang Xizhi wrote the preface to the collection of poems, a timeless masterpiece for eternity. In China, this work is described as follows: 飘若浮云，皎若金龙，清风出岫，明月入怀. In English, the calligraphy of this work is as light and fleeting as a floating cloud in the sky, as robust and vigorous as an azure dragon flying above the ocean, as clear and refreshing as a spring breeze, and as bright and ethereal as the radiant moon. The fame of this work is based not only on the beauty of the characters, but also on elegant and flowery style of writing, great rhetoric, and profound ideas. In the lyrics, Wang Qizhi also expressed his feelings and thoughts about life and world. And this following Chinese painting is the Lanting Xiuxi Tu, in English, painting of the ceremonial purification at the Orchid Pavilion, by Wen Zhenming, a painter of Ming Dynasty known as an exceptional talent. This painting depicts Wang Qizhi's spring outing with family and friends based on Wen Zhenming's imagination. So, all in all, these are a part of the brightest of Chinese calligraphy art and has been around me since I was born. So I hope that after listening to today's story and appreciating these so beautiful calligraphy masterpieces, you will also gradually like Chinese calligraphy art. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, definitely leave a like and subscribe to my channel. See you guys all in the next one. Ciao, ciao!